eno program bagiyita Film Agenda 256
enganze ennyo
ssaawa 2 buli lwakusatu
wano teri kuvaawo beera wano
nange kwendi
All right, thank you so much for joining in Film Agenda 256 right here at the National Theatre, and we want to celebrate and appreciate everyone that is trying to build this sector in any way you're trying to do it. Filmmakers, actors, designers, we want to appreciate the directors, want to appreciate the producers, and we cannot also fail to appreciate other stakeholders that are organizing events, that appreciate the stakeholders, the players in this industry, the famous Icon Awards that just happened on the 29th of March at Serena Kampala Hotel. Amazing, amazing glamour. Mwena mwalabye ku bantu abakozi ba film ate abo babadde batono because Serena could only take 1,500. And we are so many filmmakers around and here in Kampala, Uganda. Njagala kusooka kwebaliza ddala Uganda National Culture Center for giving us this space and to showcase this show on YouTube. Those that are coming in online, please keep sharing. And today I am hosting two gentlemen. One is a director, producer, and also is a team leader right now at the moment as we speak at National Film Producers Guild of Uganda, and also the director at Nawiso Films. So we appreciate his effort. And then we also have Diallo Sechide. Omusajja ono ambuzaabuza n'amannya ge simanyi oba wansi ki ekituufu naye nga ajja tubuulira. So is also a film and television trainer, is a writer and a coach. I also want to appreciate everyone, the team behind the cameras. Thank you so much. Yes, mwena mwalabye kyade ku Icon Awards twagala bawaako akatono ennyo akabaddeyo. We had the Nigerian stars visit the iconic big names in Nollywood. Kanayo, Ramzenua, Mama G, Atete yakomye kwekyo n'ayambala ne gomesi yaffe, appreciating the Ugandan identity or culture. Twagala okwebaza the team at the Icon or Richard Han Sauti Media for putting up such a marvelous and amazing show. The Icon Awards this edition actually opened a lot of portals njachogera bwentyo as far as government is concerned, stakeholders and the public, because we've seen us trend on TikTok. People wondering to the industry nene bweti. I also want to give a shout out to Nisha Kalema for the best film of the year. Thank you so much, Makula. Yes, we are making records. We have Makula winning best film of the year. We have Nisha Kalema also winning best actress. And then we have Abe Muchibi winning in best TV series. Sanyu, actually reproduced by Omusajja Gwendina mu studio. Lwalero nalese ngoma nnene. Nango okusitula nabwiso muna tekimberedde kyangu. Kimberedde kyangu o kimberedde?
Kyangu.
Okay. But we appreciate the fact that everyone out there aina kyateeka ku industry eno. It's been behind the curtains, but guys, we are set. Actually tulinye I would say a Boeing 383, that is Uganda Airlines, jitulinye kati taking the off Jerry or Jerry tujja kumbuza 330 yes neon yeah neon now, thank you dear auntie yakolako mu Emirates kati chovola ababimanyi nnyo. Yes, I want to give you an opportunity to listen to these people in the studio, and then we will be going forward. Tujja kwatugenda maso. Buli ali online right now, Neon, thank you for joining. Please share and invite other people. Twagala kwogera ku business against all odds. As far as the film industry is concerned, we are set to move. Thank you. Mukulu Mafi, weyanjuleko ku bantu abatulaba n'abatuwuliriza.
My name's Ndi Matthew Nawiso. I'm a film producer, film director, and also act once in a while. Manya basinga mulowooza sikyasa.
Tozanya.
Zanya.
Thank you so much.
And I am the director for Nawiso Films, and I'm also the current president for the National Producers Guild of Uganda.
Chiwulidde ekyo. We set to move. Yes, Sebo.
My name is Diallo Sechide. mostly known as a teacher, a film and television coach, but I'm also a writer, produce, direct, but currently I'm also a production and quality assurance manager at Right TV. It's a Christian-based online television.
Mwenga mugudde mu bintu nga tetumanyi.
Somewhere at Nakasero. Yes.
Mwatuuka ddala ne TV. And surprisingly, the Ugandan television industry running by filmmakers.
Of course.
Naye ate tebatuwoogerako tebatuwaayo wadde olugambo they do not talk about the industry, but thank God oli wano. So this is Film Agenda 256. It happens every Wednesday 8 p.m. right here at the National Theatre basement. Wetwogerera ku nsonga ezikwata ku firimu ebirimu aba filmmaker n'ebiki bye tuteekeddwa okukola okugenda mu maaso. I want also to put it out clearly that this show is about the film business in Uganda. Yes, Matthew, thank you for coming, and I appreciate every effort gy'obadde okola. And the fact that you are now stepping out so much, kiki ekyakuzuukusizza?
I think over the years, I've had this dream and vision of making sure that I work with fellow film producers towards the growth of the industry. But of course, mbadde with some, I think it's been an issue of timing and schedule.
Yes.
Because for the last 4 years, I've been producing Sanyu series, producing and directing, which was a full-time job for 4 years.
Yes.
And this started while we were in COVID. So since that whole time, I did not have, I think, ample time to get to sit with fellow creatives and say, okay, what do we do going forward? But now I think the timing is right. I have time on me. You're going to find that people like Nathan have time on them, Nana has time on her, and many other filmmakers. So that's why we are saying, okay, now that we have an opportunity to have time on us, can we actually do the things that we've always wanted to do for the growth of all of us?
All of us.
Yes.
Okay, nice. There's also some other question that I'll bring in concerning that, but Diallo, so give us another picture of what is happening on that sector of schools, film schools, and then you're now into TV directly. How best can they appreciate the film culture in Uganda? Kubanga, many of the people in Uganda bebuuza what is our film culture?
When you talk about film schools in Uganda, we still also have a challenge because we have 1 or 2, 3 of the schools, and they also have their big challenges. But before we even talk about those that are existing, the biggest question is, why do we have the film schools being places where people go after high school? Why can't we have film right from maybe primary or high school? So I was thinking that as a country or as a nation, we should look at having film go from the very start, from the grassroots. But when you talk about the film schools we have, running a film school is extremely expensive, like a production house as well. So most of the film schools we've had have had big challenges in terms of maybe funding and how to structure and organize. So apparently right now I could say that they are also struggling here and there, and they need support from government, from different stakeholders. But nevertheless, they are moving forward against all odds. We see people like Kampala Film School, Media Vision Academy, Proline. They are trying to do something. However, a film school is very complex, and even the people in film school also need training. So it's like when you bring a new curriculum in Uganda, but the teachers we are not taught, so they found many challenges trying to implement the curriculum that themselves don't really know. So as a country, in terms of schooling, when it comes to film, it looks like we all need to first maybe get the right education in regards to film, so that we can properly establish these film schools.
Okay, to both of us in the studio, one of the disturbing question is that the Ministry of Education is actually failing to endorse or adopt the curriculum of film as a course itself. Isn't that affecting us? Because I've seen it at Makerere University, but still there also are some other questions concerning these other film schools. Kampala Film School, Proline, you see Proline is using a curriculum from German. We have Kampala Film School, we have Media Vision Academy. What is your take on that? Matthew, I would love to hear from you, and then I'll take on from...
I'll say, okay, yes, I understand the fact that the Ministry of Education has not put this as part of the curriculum. But then again, for me, the world I'm coming from is I'm a pro believer in skills training and acquisition.
Yeah.
Personally, as a filmmaker, I am self-made. I never went to a film school.
A film school, yes.
But I acquired the skills, and I've made films that have competed on a global scale.
Yes.
Yeah. So whether the Ministry of Education has put that curriculum or not, I believe as long as you're going to have people who are ready to train people and skill people, the industry will grow. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, with or without government intervention, we are here to make it happen. It can happen. If government joins us, well and good. If it doesn't, we are here to make it happen.
Okay, Diarra, what do you say about it? You as a person in that space of institutions.
I agree with Matthew 100%. However, what he says, for example, if I told Matthew that I'm going to give you 2,000 students to skill, it could be a challenge for you.
Yes.
It would be a big challenge. Therefore, what we need as a nation is to have the direction where we have people who are already skilled like Matthew take on the role of mentoring others. But at the same time, for a long-term projection and development of the industry, we need to have completely structured film schools. For the bigger, because if I told Matthew, go to Gulu, go to Kasese, he's also a man who has his own production house and a lot going on. So it will be hard for him to do all this. So if as a country, in terms of the developing the industry for skilling, we can start with Matthew, with what he's talking about. We can start with mentors who can help. But also the other thing is a mentor can only help someone who is already moving. You get the point? You can only help someone who has already picked the interest and also gained 1 or 2, 3 skills about probably the film industry. But then if I gave you someone who's completely raw and you just need to bring everything out, it becomes a big challenge. So what we are saying as an industry, we can say if we have mentors like Matthew, let us pick those people already in the industry who have the interest and have also started to follow these mentors. But for a long-term goal in terms of development, we do need these film schools. Even we need to look into the curriculum of the high school and primary school.
Okay. Thank you so much, whoever is joining in, and I would love to recognize Nsimbe. Then we have Irene, Neon, Benjamin. Thank you so much, and the rest that are behind that are not commenting. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Film Agenda 256. Twogera ku nsonga za film. I want also to give you a heads up that much is happening in the film industry, and we also have a very wonderful show coming up that is Character Film Makeup, Costume and Hair Runway. It's happening at Serena 24th to 25th, Kampala here. Look it out for on Instagram, because sente zazo kwezirioko saga zogera mutye oba mudduke. It's happening at Serena. Jangu olabe ekibeerawo. Ku Friday, Saturday twali tulaba Glamour, abakozi ba film. Then in May tugenda kuba tulaba kye tuyita makeup, costume and hair. Ebyo mwalaba abazanyi babeera nabyo mu film. People of course have been talking about what is happening in the sector. These are some of the events that you need to attend, and then you begin to understand how this business works. I want to give a shout out to Saldin Media. They attended the Icon Awards and they were like, hey guys, we need to be part of these things. These guys are many, and I think they'll give you a call very soon. They'll be calling you. So, and the studios, omuchala akola character umwali naye ali mabegeri ali mukukwata ku camera, but yeah, we appreciate. And I also want to tell you that on 25th of this month, April, Twina, the show is called Sacrifice at Badville Theatre, featuring Maria Nachanzi, who's both stage and screen actress. It's a women empowerment show, very good for women in the creative space. The challenges we go through, how we overcome them, and then the benefits that we deliver at the end. Yes, kati njagala kubabuuza ekibuuzo Matthew. Many filmmakers think maybe you came out into this space to begin taking these positions and the structures after maybe MultChoice not giving out bigger projects to you. Kubanga waliwo yagamba nti kati abo business ya MultChoice eweddewo. You must have heard it somewhere. Kati ensonga lwaki bazikoze ki? What is your take on that?
I think, well, first and foremost, I think everybody has a right to their opinion or what they think. But what we are doing has nothing to do with MultChoice.
With MultChoice, yes.
Yeah, MultChoice yatusangawo. By the time they started buying films and commissioning some of us, we were here making
yes,
the films.
yes.
We will still be here even if they're not here. So what we are trying to do is to develop the industry, to work together this time around as filmmakers. Because like as I always say, previously we were working in isolation. Everybody was handling their film project. But then we realized that if we put our brilliant heads, because everybody has been brilliant wherever they have been in
their own space.
Now imagine putting all these brilliant heads together and say, how best do we develop this industry? How best does this industry become profitable to all of us? So of course we are discussing things like challenges of funding. We are discussing issues like distribution.
Yes.
So that's where MultChoice comes in. So we are trying to say, okay, if MultChoice is not here tomorrow or is here, how best do we approach this? We would like to put ourselves in a space where there is actually many more buyers. So we are putting our heads together to say, how do we make this happen? We are trying to make strategic plans for the next 50 to 100 years.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, that is the idea. That is the goal. That is the direction. It has nothing to do. MultChoice is not going anywhere. I know it is still here with us. So it has nothing to do with what we are doing.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
good. Diarra, what's your take on the new National Film Producers Guild of Uganda?
I think you know my mind. We've always talked about this. I was very excited that night, and immediately in one of the groups, I even asked that I was very disappointed that even hearing the good news, I did not hear one word, how do I join or who do I contact? Because immediately that night, I felt like I needed to reach out and be part of it. Because I have always told filmmakers, we need something like this, a guild, but which is intentional, deliberate, and also with purpose.
Yes.
We've had I don't even want to go into the politics we've had in these groups. And I know many filmmakers had refused to join any associations of guilds because they were not really comfortable joining. When this came up, I was like, now this could be the light. You know the challenges. We don't have a commission. We don't have a full industry. So we needed to have I shouldn't say an organization. We needed to have something that we can use as a car to drive us where we need to be. And when I heard this news, I was excited. I said, now this is what we need. I just pray Matthew and the people who have initially started this to take the right direction. And if that happens, all these problems and whoever has been maybe holding the cake or the lamp, they'll have to hand it over to the filmmakers. Because this is the time filmmakers to drive their own car, not for somebody else. So I'm very excited about that.
Nice. So the listeners and viewers, the Uganda filmmakers recently came up with the National Film Producers Guild of Uganda. And I am also excited as a film practitioner that it is now the right time that filmmakers take their mantle. Because for many years, filmmakers in Uganda, we've had so many filmmakers from other countries come produce films and then go without the local practitioners benefiting. I am happy that right now we have the National Film Producers Guild of Uganda, which is going to hold this flag high, and I pray that you take it on. And by the way, Matthew, you are in the right position to do this. We are willing to politically tetujja kulekana. One, why? Because fe abamu batunyigidde. We cannot lead anything. When you go to UCC bajja kugamba Godfrey oyo kati tetumutegeera bwogenda mu gender. It is, but we have now Matthew coming up with a team of other filmmakers to take on these positions, okuyambako the film sector to begin taking back their mandate. Because we've seen this in Kenya, we've seen it in Ghana, we've seen it in South Africa, where filmmakers take 95% participation in every investment that comes in a country. You have a private investor that you just talked about, MultChoice, coming in and they dictate what price, how they are going to pay you or how they're going to commission without the involvement of stakeholders. So what are some of the things that we should be expecting as stakeholders in this space?
One, first and foremost, we are looking in the direction of policy.
Yes.
Yeah, because we've not had a film policy, we don't have a film commission. It's one of the things we need. The law that is supposed to guide us as an
Yes,
industry.
yes.
It is very, very crucial because without it, we are going to continue doing things the way we've always done. We've always we need more cooperation with the government to work with us. We've had challenges in the past. I was shooting Sanyu. I remember season 1, and then we were shooting a scene in a bar, and I'd actually gotten permission from police to shoot in the area and everything. But then, because there was some bit of miscommunication, first of all, as an industry, we were falling in so many ministries and no ministry at all at the end of the day. So you communicate this one, the other one. So I was on set, and a patrol pickup shows up. They grab me, they grab my cameras and throw me, and they take me to police. And actually showed them a letter that I actually have permission to be here. But
From them.
the officer looked at them and said, looked at the letter and said, this must be a fake letter. So there's been a lot of coordination and things, and these are things we want to put together so that if we have a film commission, a film office, one-stop shop can communicate to whoever is involved, so that if I'm in a place filming, everybody is aware, because that day was a huge challenge to me. I had over 50 extras on that set on that day. I'd bought food, I'd bought water, I had salaries to pay, and we didn't shoot, but I still had to meet the costs for the day. So this disorganization, if we continue with this kind of disorganization, it hampers the growth of the industry. So policy is the first direction we want to
take.
To align. And then, of course, then look into all the other things. Funding, you're looking at distribution, you're looking at training of the current people, of the upcoming artists. We need to fill all those gaps. You're looking at equipment, you're looking at taxation. There's so much that needs to be put together in order for us to grow as an industry. You're also looking at opportunities that come and we miss out. Queen of Katwe, for instance, came here to shoot. In other countries, where they came from, they knew that when we get here, there's got to be a percentage of our budget that goes to the film industry. Yes. But they got here and
no one did.
There was nothing.
Actually, URA
it was a huge saving. No, they paid what they had to pay to URA, but then they saved. And I'm thinking, how much help would that have been to our industry? If it calls for skilling people, if it calls for training, if it's equipped, if it is something, but because there's been no policy, people come in here, shoot and go. Somebody will come in with a crew to film a documentary from India or wherever. They'll come with 100% crew. They will come here, film and go. And you're thinking, okay, how have we benefited as an industry here? There's been no knowledge transfer. There's been no employment by our crew, because we actually have people who are competent. But because there are no structures, proper structures, it has been a great disservice to us as an industry. And those are the things we want to push for, we want to change. Because we're not doing this for just the members of the guild today, filmmakers, but we want that filmmaker who is coming 20 years from now to be able to benefit from such structures. 50 years, people should be able to benefit from such structures. And then, just like I've shared, our population, out of, what do they say, is it 47 million? 47, 50? Yeah, you're going to find that 40 million of that are young people. And young people are interested in creative arts. But now there is no way even the government is supporting this. Just like you were saying, it is important to have film school as part of the curriculum. You will be shocked because the 40 million young people are probably going to subscribe to that. That is what makes sense. That is where the world has moved. But if we don't have certain things in place, then we are doing all ourselves a disservice.
Thank you so much.
To add something to Matthew. Just share an experience. When we were shooting Slum Bomba, I had a chance to be a co-producer. So I had to look for documents to allow us to shoot within the town. You have no idea. I had to get a letter from the Minister of Kampala, but after that, I was directed to KCCA to get a copy from their police, and then from police I was sent to SFC. That is in Entebbe.
Yeah.
From SFC, you have to go to Naguru, you have to go to Chibuli. I had to go to almost around 7 security agencies. And even after getting all that clearance, guess what? If you are on set, a local police gentleman from Katwe will stop you and say the same thing, that this is a fake, after spending a full month trying to get clearance. And it is only after they've wasted your days, could be a day or days, in Katwe, to later say, oh, we thought this was fake, but it was cleared. Imagine. But if we had a commission that is respected, or a body or guild, then we don't have all this trouble.
Okay.
But also one other thing that I want to highlight, I hope the government is really, really listening to us. I want to clarify this. You know what breaks my heart is that art, creative art, film is the umbrella. Because under film we have performing arts, those are the musicians and the actors and all that. We have visual arts, which is what we do. And then we have also the architectural art. We have fashion. Imagine architectural art comes to in terms of structures and building.
Yeah.
So that means even all the sceneries in Kampala follow under film. You get that? We have literal art, the poets and all that, the people who are writing. So imagine the film industry is something that is not recognized, but every form of art should be under film.
Yes.
Because when you're making a film, you have to have every creative be under film.
And respect.
It breaks
the
my
IP.
heart that unfortunately the industries, the government is recognizing musicians as the form of art, as art itself. But even musicians, Eddie Kenzo can come and still be an art into film. So I'm saying, if we could take the mother of art, which is film, and structure it and support it, we have no problem changing this economy in terms of getting jobs. Because you know a film set will have maybe 1,000, 2,000 employees. So the government and people who are responsible should really focus in improving film.
Someone is asking, where have these guys been when filmmakers were putting up campaigns to help on the sector? I think that's Irene. That is, I don't know which campaigns they're talking about, but should be maybe boycott something. Okay, viewers, thank you so much for tuning in, and we love your comments. Please keep engaging, and we appreciate. This is Film Agenda 256, and your host, Musinguzi Godfrey. Kate, Walwo, you see, Matthew and Yarrow, we've got a challenge as a sector at some point. I've had people say we lack professionalism as practitioners in the space. How are we gonna cap that or sort that out as we come up with a guild and also come up with some other associations?
I think that is also one of the reasons why we have a guild, because you'll find that different producers work differently.
Yes.
But anybody that has been to my set can't remain the same in terms of professionalism. You can't be on my set and you walk away unless you just don't belong to the industry. So now when we get to sit as a guild, these are some of the things we need to sort out. Of course, you'll find that there are crew people with issues, there are actors with issues, but there are also producers with issues.
A lot.
So if issues of producers have to be sorted out at the level of the guild, because it is important that we actually clean up, we professionalize, because that's how we grow. If we don't have ethics, integrity, it is hard for us to grow as a sector. So these are some of the things that we need to put checks and balances.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dear, you've been one of the people actually about fronting a new criticism of sector, lack of professionalism. What is your take on that? How are we going to sort this out? Because I feel right now, Mafia must be very open and say that I feel there's a move that is happening in the sector. And most likely, people that have been practicing for a long time in a very myopic way, they may be dropped out. We've had, this is the talk show that in the whole country that gives a very high profiling of film. The other shows actually, they don't go down into details. So what's your take? Because of Adamu Kubantu mu film club, abaga niba nangi abantu bono niyo kati ono takola bwati.
I'll take it on a national scale. What we have as a challenge is that as a country, economically, we operate in a free market economy where almost everyone is allowed to do whatever they want to do. So the same applies in film. The film industry is like a free market. It's a place where people, it's free entry and free exit. So the challenge we've been having is that mostly maybe someone feels like I'll go to film for any reason. We've had so many people joining. Now what Director Matthew is talking about is we didn't have bodies regulating this. So once we have structured and have bodies like the guild coming in play, what happens, the guild will have a sieve to assess in terms of professionalism, performance, ethics, and all that. So when you have people joining, what does that mean? That if Musinguzi, you need to deal with a producer, you cross-check and say, where does he belong? Is he part of the guild? Because now you can trust whoever is belonging to the guild will not be the normal person, these Kwara guys. So that means the guild will also provide a space where you can trust who to deal with, because everyone who is under this umbrella is someone who has professionalism. Then what will happen? So we shall let this industry have those people that you're talking about. But guess what? Later they'll find out they don't have business. No one is hiring you because you still want to act the way you have to work. And what will it will clean automatically. We don't need to fight with anyone. As long as you have a body that is well regulated, you have people who trust it, everything will be sorted. And this is what we have been missing. Create a body which has professionals, and everyone will say no. If you like he talked about, if mostly when you're doing international collaborations, there are treaties that you sign. If you're bringing a movie to shoot here, we'll say maybe 50% of the crew must be Ugandan. So when such a production house is coming, they will not go to anyone, maybe anywhere. They will have to relate with the guild. And this is how we shall be cleaning up and professionalizing our sector.
So you're telling me someone is most likely to drop out of the industry
if you don't choose to change.
Yeah, if you don't belong there, you
will leave.
Yeah, if you can't fit in, you fit out. Because it is important when we're talking about growth. You can't have a foreign production coming here. They shoot a film in Uganda, they go, and you look at the credits and there's no Uganda. That's not growth.
Yes, they did that actually with Black Panther also.
Yeah.
You see, I also know a Nigerian that came here, shot a short film, casted our cream girls, the Doreen Milembes, Doriantha, so many. And then after shooting the film, he promised them that he's going to fly them to Nigeria for a premiere. So he went to Nigeria, premiered without them, and then he got the money, flew to London. He started the UK London, the UK Nollywood. And those people have never, I don't know if they've watched the film.
And also maybe to respond to the person who was asking, where have these people been? I think that's not
Irene.
Yeah, Irene, we have been here. Like I shared, we've been working in isolation.
Yeah.
So if you, Irene, and whoever it is has been voicing, just say this is an answered prayer. We have come to add voices to your voice. Because the challenges affect all of us. So that's why we are here. So let's continue working together.
Akoth Nina, thank you so much. She says, nice being here. Surely I think the film should be added in the curriculum. Semana Deo, our government pretends not to know that film is above and is the umbrella of creative industry. Thank you for your comment. Mayanja Ibra, Amis, Mr. Nawiso, why do you think this industry is still struggling with Uganda's recognized film, and how are we going to benefit nga akatale kafu? That is Mayanja, I think, is asking how can we better wrap the struggle of making sure that Uganda filmmakers have a market. And then Ramon Wakaliwood, I faced same problem at Insanji police post. This is fake. Imagine a police headed document with reference number. Nsimbe One Media, how are we going to uplift the industry when we still stuck with our projects on our discs? We have nowhere to put them, and I think we just have to fight for the market. Mr. Nagwiso. Ali Chibirige, how do we get permissions to shoot with prop guns and city? and city. They tend to arrest us, Mr. Matthew bakulopera no katika was force president. Irene Namata, thank you, Mr. Nabwiso. You should be president of UFMI. Bagala kuja kuchaba producer. Yes, on that very topic, maybe you can give a hint on the questions.
But I just before I just wanted to say something about what Matthew was talking about. Irene, what she highlighted, she talked about battles that they've been voicing.
Yes, the voicing, yeah, the campaigns.
We have had these kind of battles, let me call them, but unfortunately, sometimes even our battles, some of them have been unprofessional and unethical. So we can agree you might need to fight, but also how you fight is very important.
Strategy.
So a guild will not be a body that will recommend pick up spears and pangas and go slashing whoever is responsible. It will pick the right battles and how to fight them.
Yeah.
So maybe the battles have been there, but for example, if you say let's boycott this, boycott might not be the right approach at that time. So maybe the battles have been there, but we are saying we want to do a better organized kind of fight. So she should not lose hope. We are going to do the fight as an industry, but the right fight and how to fight it better.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think one of the people talked about the market.
Yeah.
First and foremost, already there are members of the guild who have come up with distribution channels, either they are streaming platforms or what. So we are putting our heads together to see, okay, how do we work together to make sure that now everybody's content gets there and gets distributed evenly? Because even before we look at external markets, I think we actually have, if we have 50 million Ugandans and maybe 10 or 5 million are actually watching our movies, that is a good market. So we are here.
1 million.
So we are here to make those strategies of how best do we make sure that the content creators are actually get to have their content consumed by the public. Then the issue of people being arrested with props, it's also one of the things that we want to have in the film policy and the film office, so that when a filmmaker is actually on the streets with the prop or prop of a gun, he actually has security of police to protect them.
That, yes.
Because all the different organizations need to be synced. So you have protection when you're on set, so that when you're shooting, your focus is on production and not
looking out.
Those are the things, because those are the challenges we've been having. And now we want that out of the way, so we can just focus on telling our good stories.
That's beautiful.
The way they should be.
Yes. Neon says, I have been asked by the police many times to write to the IGP for permission. I reached out to them in 2022 and they even stopped my follow-ups till today. 2022 are following up on Actually, I had the same issue with the producer of Tembere. Morris. He wrote to KCCA for a dustbin truck. He shot the film without being cleared or replied. He got some other truck from somewhere. So we would love actually to join the Kampala city leaders to promote our city. But again, these people, there's a very big task to the guild to actually sensitize the leaders, policymakers, beginning with Parliament, to appreciate film as a job, just as a doctor, as they appreciate an engineer, because at some point, these are things that promote this city. Surprisingly, when I hear some other people not agreeing that film accommodates all creatives, because at some point, a musician will produce a song, and then they'll need the cameras to give them the visuals. At some point, the costume designer is needed in that video. So there's much to actually consider. Well done, Mukulu Musinguzi, for hosting this show. Thank you so much, guys, for this. So
actually, Msinguzi, I want to commend government offices on some point. Actually, the issue is not giving us the clearance. I've worked to these offices and I've been overwhelmed by the interest the people inside there have. Some of them have said, you don't come to us. And they've given me the clearance. Now the problem comes on the police on the ground, maybe a normal patrol, a normal police station. So my challenge is understanding how can a police station or a patrol guy understand the originality. What can we have? Maybe as a guild we can say maybe we can get something that is the police can recognize. But like he also said, we can also have a film police. We can go to police and have a department of police, and they say, no, in case you're shooting your film, Wakanda, was it Wakanda the second one? Yes, when they were shooting it, they shot the first one in Chicago. When they were going to shoot the second one, they wanted to change location. And guess what? The mayor of Chicago called the producer and begged him that please don't take away Wakanda don't take away the shoots from my city. They were begging. So why should we filmmakers even struggle? KCCA should be coming to us. The government should be coming to us. They should be asking us to be part of this because we are showcasing what this country is all about. So I don't think we should have a problem. We only need to use the guild and these other organizations to sync our relationship between us and the authorities, and everything will be perfect.
Okay.
Should I answer something about market?
Yeah, it's okay.
So about the market, I'm one person who believes that we have the market. This also comes back to us creatives. We have the market. Luckily enough, the world is now global. You can sell in your house, also you can sell anywhere in the world. That's one thing we should look at. So for the market, I actually don't think we should blame anyone. It should be you, the creative. Not the problem we have as creatives. We wake up one day, pick cameras, maybe you have a script or not, and just go shoot something. Now, as guilds or whatever, he's talking about training. One of the things we need to empower and train our people is before you wake up and say, I'm going to do a film, where are you going to sell it? Who are you going to sell it to? Because we are crying for no reason. Some of us produce without even knowing where to sell. And all of a sudden, you're like, I have a movie, okay, who can watch it? You don't have no idea. So most of our brothers who are complaining, they have these movies on the CDs. We did not do our homework in the very first time. So now we need to learn our lessons and say, going forward, before I go ahead, I need to survey the market and say, I'm going to produce for downtown, I'm going to produce for corporates, I'm going to any market. So that is something we should also look at. But for the market, I believe we now have so many, we have had Ugandaflix, we have had so many people coming up with platforms. Uganda is also willing to give us a platform to show. So we have all these markets. Before we even think of Netflix. So as creatives, we should think so deep about marketing, promotion, distribution before we go into production.
Yeah, and I think
so much.
one thing that many producers forget is they make a budget for production
Without marketing.
but they never have a marketing budget.
Even a roadmap.
Yeah,
They don't even know.
Because it is important for you to start at the end. Whatever I am creating, who is going to buy?
And how
That's
am I
there.
going to reach them?
Yes.
It's actually the hardest part in this entire business.
Yeah.
Production seems to be very easy.
Easy,
But
yes.
finding
Film,
that
yes,
market
finding
and
that
that
market
distribution
and
chain
allocating-
is crazy.
Allocating that tailored advert or brand to that space. Yes, thank you so much, Matthew and Diaro. Tiawa Charles says, thanks for the show, presenter Godfrey. Insightful advocacy for my director in Sanyu and that other comrade, Diaro. Thank you so much. Tumanyane says, about the newly launched guild previously, all the guilds that have been in place have been WhatsApp based, and for one to join, one had to have a number so they could be added in the group. Tumanyane otandise ebyewamwe bikulinye. How easy will it be to subscribe to the newly launched guild? Okay, he will be giving information, and you just need to know that as long as you're a producer, this is your guild. This is your guild to empower. And then Nsimbe says, what can we do to make Uganda government consider our industry? Nze nga ndaba buli kimu tukikoze, and I don't think the industry can grow without government's intervention. That you will answer. Then Ramon says, I think we have enough guilds. Why another one? I would too agree if he stands for UFMI presidency. I think Muizoba Muli mistaken. Which guilds do we have? Because to your surprise, Ojakwe Sange zimu ziri striped off. URSB as Ijako Kubanga, they don't file returns. Because they cannot give you a guild nga jeri. You cannot register a guild nga already registered. So take me through that. Tumanyanez Ware, how easy will it be to subscribe to the newly launched guild and also the other WhatsApp? And then Simbi says, how can we have government consider our industry? Then Ramon Onais, Mukuru Nabwana Yagamba, I think we have enough guilds. Why another one? I would too agree. He stands for UFMI presence. We will have a
Thank you. I appreciate people having the faith in me. First and foremost, I've not been previously a member of UFMI, but I think as at tomorrow I will have joined. And because this is our collecting society, so everybody needs to be part of it. Just like I said before, we've been working in isolation. Now it's about time to work together. Anything that benefits the industry, let's all be there. And I implore all film producers to join, to be members of UFMI. This is very, very important. What was that other?
How easy is it to subscribe to the newly formed
subscribing
guild?
To the guild? Now, there's been a little bit of a delay because our website should be already up and running and all our socials, but these I think should be ready in the next 3 to 4 days. I think we're just final tuning. So this website will be available, numbers to call and procedures, everything is going to be available online. And we are also going to be trying to communicate to everybody on TV, on television, to make sure that everybody has information of what this guild is about, what its mandate is, the goals, the visions, and how do you join, how do you contribute to what it's going. So if you give us the next 3 to 4 days, all information is going to be in the palms of your hands.
Thank you so much. Diaro, what can we do to make government consider our industry as an umbrella industry for the CCI?
What I've seen mostly with our filmmakers, I don't know how they'll take this, but government does not operate the way we do as individuals. And mostly, most of us thought maybe if you are in your own production house or if you make noise on the street, government will come to you. Government works in units, works in structures and all that. And it has so happened that we have struggled as an industry. So the only way we can reach out to government, you can see a clear example from the musicians. It is after the formation of what's in the Yuma, and after that the federation coming up, that now government is fully, because now for them they say we have a focal point, we have the contact point. So it is, I don't know the guilds that we've had or the federation, how strong and how they've been deliberate in terms of reaching the government. But government will only deal if you have gotten a voice, and a voice comes in terms of an organization. My prayer and hope is that if we have a guild like what we have now, after we have structured it and it has the big names, probably have Matthew, Nana is there, Lukman is there, then they can say, we want to see the minister. The minister will listen, because these are not the ordinary people. So I believe it's by miracle that when we have people who have come together, we'll have a voice and it will be easy. He's saying that they've done everything. I don't think we have done everything.
We haven't done
anything as per the government, because for us we think you'll just
and everything.
But this is going to be the direction where now government is going to have to listen, because now they know who to meet and how to meet them. So like he's saying, I would implore all filmmakers, all of us to join. I know even myself, I haven't belonged to any of them. But if you find something and you see this is the right direction, we can all join. And then if it's making noise, this is the right noise we can make.
Actually, when you have something to...
Yeah, I think also to add to that, we're already having interactions with some of these government
policy
bodies.
makers.
Yeah, and they've encouraged us to engage them more.
Yeah.
And I think one of the challenges we've been having, I think as filmmakers, we are to a great extent very disciplined. We don't
Very
shout.
composed.
When something is not working, you just step back. But they've challenged us and said, for instance, I had an incident where we were showing a film in the cinema at Century Cinemax. Yeah, we had programmed to show this movie for 4 weeks. Week 1 we show people the turn up is very good. Week 2 we show the turn up is very good. Week 3 out of the blue, we had a particular show. I think this was a Saturday, and we got a disruption. Somebody called the cinema and said, stop airing that film.
Reason?
What?
They didn't give a reason. The movie had been classified.
From above?
Yes, somebody from wherever it is. They called the cinema and told them, don't show that film again. And you know, this was a show that had already been sold out because there's a particular organization that actually had bought this show and said, we are coming to watch it. And I'm thinking, okay, at the end of the day, because the person who made this call is supposed to be supporting the industry. But now I'm thinking, you can't claim to be supporting, yet you're actually sabotaging the industry. And so when I engaged one of the organizations, one of the government ministries, and I explained my dilemma. They asked me, why didn't you sue?
Yeah.
And I'm like, come to think about it, I should have sued and I would have made much more money than the show I lost. But you see, that's the thing. We have been very disciplined to an extent that when you sabotage, you just say, it's okay. I'll try another day tomorrow. But we actually have the capacity to sue. We have the capacity to advocate more. Yeah, and people should be fired. Yeah,
Nice.
We can't be having cancers in the industry claiming to be supporting the industry.
Jesus Christ, that is bad. Film Agenda 256 with your host Musinguzi Godfrey. Wano tuwogera ku nsonga za film ne tukuleetera ebiri ebule n'obweya. Byobadde tomanyi at sometimes bw'obeera mu ka space kaka katono olowooza olwanye nnyo. Naye ate abasajja bafiiriddwa. When Matthew tells you on the experience he had on Sanyu losing footage, losing what, ogamba bannange abasajja babeereyo. Then I also want to encourage filmmakers out there that this is the time that we restructure our sector. I am happy that the producers are taking on the mantle. Actors need to fix themselves, because I would actually encourage our help would be meeting the existing guilds. And then, because when they say we need to sensitize the government, or we need to what should we do to make the government come on board? I was in some meeting and I told filmmakers, let's look at the border guys. Border guys wake up in the morning, come to a former stage, they put up a chairperson, finance, then they form a circle, and they follow the discipline. You must be on this stage, smart, clean, and what. Then let's get on the road. When a border guy causes an accident, what the other border guys do, they first make sure this guy is safe. They'll take off the border aside and then protect this other border guy. Then they begin the negotiations with the victim or the other party.
Talk about the money, they change.
The way they stand, someone backs and gives them change.
more.
So I was telling them, we actually don't need government for us to organize ourselves. Government has worked to organize bodies just because they are organized. When the musicians began to organize themselves, government listened. You get? Me, I would actually advise at some point, when the Producers Guild gets in touch with the Screen Directors Guild, I also understand there is a cinematographer, is it cinematographer or exhibitors, distributors guild. If they came together, they would form actually a film board, which film board will actually negotiate for better recognition with other government agencies, and also claiming all those other mandates that are scattered. You find tourism has a mandate on film. Ministry of Foreign Affairs has a mandate on film. Tourism, UCC has. Then we get to gender. Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development. We are there. You get to so many other organizations. So someone said via online says, thanks for the show and thanks to Matthew for working towards putting together a functional Producers Guild. Our industry has only been failing because of two departments, producers and actors guilds, I think. He goes on to say, additionally to my previous comment, as a current provisional member of the newly announced guild, I am anticipating proper structuring and operation of the guild for the betterment of the film industry. Cleopatra is on. Thank you for tuning in. I agree with Matthew. Working together as a film industry and ensuring we have structures and are organized, we will really help us go further and grow the industry to the heights we dream of. Now is the time. That is clear. Tumanyane says, additionally, thanks to all the brains that have come up with such a guild, I have the statement. I believe the statement. Mwetereze, the UFF guests of honor have always painted all over is getting solved. Asimwe Apple officially, VJ Emmy, where are you? Thank you so much. You're making this show a very interactive show. Matthew, people are celebrating and actually congratulating you for standing out. Me personally, I really did, because I remember sitting with you and said, you know, guys, we need to take this industry. Film producers don't take this industry on their side. Anyone can walk in here and do their mess. So everyone is saying thank you, thank you. So guys, now Matthew and Diarra, we have UFMI that has been a very challenging issue in the sector. For the past more than 11 years, they have not paid any royalties to stakeholders, even to their members. They have had several CEOs coming in, and some of them have resigned, some of them have been pushed to move. Today we have Ragadi, who's the chairman of the National Culture Forum, as the chairman board UFMI. To make business sense of that, I don't know how it is, but stuff is happening with UFMI. How best as a guild leadership, how best do you think this is going to be helping to fix the CMO of the filmmakers?
I'll say we've had all these stories, and because we've been not involved, I can't make a lot of comment.
Yeah.
But now we are getting involved. Let's get involved. Let's get our hands dirty and clean up. Yeah. Let's work together with the existing people and see how best we make this CMO profitable. Filmmakers, yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes. What's your take on that?
But like Matthew is saying, what has been happening in this industry, there are so many brilliant brains, filmmakers, that actually distanced themselves from most of entities like UFMI, even the guilds, even the associations, and they're doing amazing work because of, I don't know, maybe the politics that was happening within these entities. And what happens in this country is that when you don't put yourself out there, someone will. But even that person who is incapable, but they will. And this country, you have a lot of maybe mediocre people who are running a lot of organizations. But I credit them because for them, they stand bold regardless of who they are, and they take on these positions. So the questions have always been, why do you guys don't come up if you think you can change? And what Matthew is saying now is the time. So it is time that those who feel they can make the changes or can drive the car better to step up, and that's what we have to do. But for now, we can't fault those people. They took the positions, and that's how they've been running them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I want to appreciate everyone that is on, and also somebody out there that is trying to share this show to make it very interactive. We appreciate Samuel Sevilla. Thank you. Cleopatra. Thank you. Tumanyane. Asimwe Apollo. Thank you. Ramon. Thank you. Simbe. Thank you so much. Tiawa Charles, Daisy Akelo, thank you. Ali Chibirige, thank you so much for keeping this very interactive. Mayanja Ibra, thank you so much. Semanda Dewo, Akoth, we celebrate you, and I want to say Isma Matovu, thank you so much. Character film, character hair, costume and hair exhibition. How are you planning as a guild to support this show? At least I show you at the launch with the wife. Now you are the president, acting president, right now in the position for the guild, for Producers Guild. Because one of the things I really want to appreciate is to see that this, the producer of this guild gets involved in these events that are happening, that are supporting filmmakers. Some of these events were started by people that had a dream, but they didn't know exactly where they're going. So how are you willing to guide, support, and see how best these events? I'll talk of the film. We have the character, the icons, of course, you supported, you've been supporting. We have the film and culture market, you've also come out to support. So how are you? This edition, they are organizing their third edition at Serena, 24th, 25th May. How is the guild getting involved to support?
Costume, makeup, props, this is a department of film. So whatever they do directly affects a producer.
Yes.
So we are here to work with them. Because when we call this a National Producers Guild, it's not something for just Kampala.
But just, yes.
This is a national guild. So everybody, every creative that is involved in film, we have to work with going forward. Whatever challenges they have are our challenges as producers.
Nice.
Whatever challenges we have as producers is their challenge. So we have to work together. Yeah, we have to work together. There is no choice about that. Yeah.
Okay. Diarra, why do you think people, it's very, very important for people to join guilds?
Do you have a family that you come from?
Personally, I'm a family man.
So the point is, if you don't belong somewhere, then it feels like you don't really exist, because everyone needs a place to call home. For many reasons, it gives you identity. Like I mentioned, like myself, to be honest, I've been in this industry for 15 years. But there are so many people, like 90%, 99% who have no idea who Diallo is and what they've done. But reason being is because I've not been involved in most of these entities. But the point is, if you don't belong somewhere, then you will not have recognition, you don't have identity, and you will not have somebody who trusts you. But if you belong to a guild and somebody knows the president is Matthew, it's like, of course, if he's not picking the call, I can easily call Matthew, I can easily call Nana, I can easily call Musinguzi, I can call Xavier. So that means you have security. If you're talking in terms of business, if you belong to a guild, you don't need to say so many words. Someone will just say, I usually watch movies. I don't know if you notice and you see, produced by Matthew Nabuso, PGA. I don't know if you understand, Producers Guild of America. That is a powerful thing.
Yeah.
So imagine Godfrey Musinguza as a credit, and it has a National Producers Guild Uganda. For example, it's a powerful thing. If someone watches them, it's like, wow, this is a guy I can deal with because he belongs to a guild. So it gives you security, and someone can trust to deal with you and work with you. So that is the biggest, and of course it comes with so many things, all the benefits, the trainings, the connections and all that. So someone has to belong to a guild.
Nice.
Even
So
myself.
people should join the guild. Actually,
Absolutely.
kati yene time musoke muve mu bine byokwoza musimanyize biki. Thank you everyone that has done produced films, and you have whatever titles you have. It is time to now join the guild. Matthew, how do you plan to reach out to the bigger community in Uganda, the northern Uganda? Because I've also realized that now regions are breaking off from the main center, forming the Western Uganda Film Producer Association. And then today someone sent me a link, join our Bunyoro Filmmakers Association. Then we have the Eastern. How do you plan to accommodate producers from those regions?
I'm not so sure if they've broken away per se, but I think we have just not been open to working with them.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is what we want to do now. We want to be open to work with them because we are the same industry. Here we are Ugandan filmmakers. We have to work together because our audience, our first audience are Ugandans. You can't say my audience is just the Eastern region. No. I think our audience is Uganda as a whole. And even when we're exporting movies out of Uganda, they have to represent us as a country. So we are working out on to getting in touch with all these people because this is a National Producers Guild. We have to work together.
So we expect
the structures have
coordinators, regional coordinators.
Yes, we are going to have regional coordinators, and we have to know what's happening in Mbarara, what's happening in the west, what's happening in the north. We need to be able to talk, exchange ideas. How do we support you? How do you support us? How do we do something together? These divisions have never helped anybody.
And good enough, they have time to tell that we've been here for 10 years and we've not achieved anything.
Actually, I don't think they are breaking away. it's a miracle they are organizing, but regionally.
Yes.
To
Because
recognize
now-
their strength as
They are
as people coming from a
organizing
particular region.
depending on their region. Reason being, just imagine there's northern Uganda has no association or guild or whatever it is, and you want to work in that area. It would be really hard for you to find who, maybe a location scout or someone.
Yes.
But right now, imagine if you want to go to northern Uganda to work, and you already know there is an association. You just contact the president, and he will tell you, no, so and so will help you. So it is beautiful, and I like the fact that they are also organizing regionally. It is going to be very easy work for the
Yes.
guild, because now they will have a contact person on how to start coordinating and working
Yeah.
together. So I believe we are, if that is their agenda, if they don't want us, what I believe is they're just organizing to link with us
On a
with
regional
other
level,
people,
yes.
in a better way. I think it's
Okay,
a good
that's
thing.
beautiful. So it's a call out for every producer to begin looking out for the National Film Producers Guild of Uganda and be part of this mega race. The lion that has been sleeping is risen. So ababadde balya sente za firimu abaana babagidde ate kuno Matthew Mukambwemukko Matthew Mukambwemukko ababadde ku Icon mwamulabye. So Neon says we have content, the market is there. What limits us are the bureaucracies and policies that make it hard for us to access some resources, limiting our scope of creativity. Don't worry, this is going to be sorted because we believe and we are very sure that now that the guild is formed, because guys, ekibadde kibula mu eno system, it is actually the Producers Guild. I've talked to Malchoice. We had a meeting with Malchoice some I think 5 months ago, when we were wondering, we asked them, why are you putting off some of the projects and channels without actually even informing the sector? And surprisingly, the MD sat us in a room, also brought Timo from Nairobi for that meeting. And they told us business-wise, it's not making sense. So the support has been on a very, very small. And just because they've also not evolved the industry at a bigger scale, because they've involved individuals. And right now, Matthew, it's now the guild to take on those negotiations.
But
and
do
deals
you know
and
the beauty about the guild, the Producers Guild? Producers, I would call them the fathers in terms of the production chain. They are the ones who hold the mantle.
Yeah.
So if you're going to organize the head of the house, that means you are cleaning up everything.
Yeah.
Because trust me, we've had issues with producers. Actors have had issues with producers,
yes.
all other departments. And also, people like Malchoice have had issues with producers who don't deliver, who maybe do things the other way. But now imagine if you have a guild, Malchoice cannot just wake up one day and probably throw away producer. Maybe the guild will have the power to negotiate how this producer is treated, whatever could happen. So the best things happening is we are having producers organizing. That means we are cleaning up everything. Actors will be safe, cinematographers will be safe, because it's the producer who is running the show.
And also to add to that, some of the engagements we've made, for instance, we've been having a huge challenge of accessing certain locations, especially government culture sites or parks and what. So we've already had these engagements, for instance, with the Investment Authority. Investment Authority recognizes us as investors.
Investors, yes.
Yeah, and they've said, Matthew, just write to us. We'll write a letter to whoever is concerned and you can be able to have that. We didn't have this before. Now this is happening. In the areas of marketing, because sometimes you have a premiere, you want to talk about, or whatever it is, you want to talk about what you want to do. And either to talk about it on radio station or TV. Some people are going to say, bring kitu kidogo. But we've already engaged some people. For instance, we've engaged with Radio Sanyu. And now they've opened up a slot every Wednesday between 1 to 2 p.m. for all female filmmakers.
Wow.
You have anything, actually character, you want
You
to
should
go
be there.
and 1 to 2 every Wednesday. It is open for all
Filmmakers.
female filmmakers.
So the guild has started working.
Yes, and now also the others, we're also trying to ensure that we will get you slots to make sure
Manzi,
you
manzi.
can actually have your free airtime to talk about what you're doing. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Kuvita Mariam says, thank you for the good and hard work you are dedicating into putting the guild together, but does the guild also have any structure in place to protect the talent hired in terms of residential residues? Okay, that you'll help me answer.
I didn't understand. Residential.
Residues, I think.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah. Then Manzi, Matthew Nawiso for President UFMI. You guys, we've just started this guild, and let him first serve his 5 years at the national guild, guild, and then because as the team behind him sorts out the issues that are affecting the sector, of course UFMI eja kujiramu. But also producers need this. There's need for classification and classifying producers, because I think the guild will come up with classes.
Yes,
There's
we're going to
A,
have
B, C.
certification
Yes.
for producers, because also with some bodies or organizations that buy content want to buy content from a
someone
certified producer.
producer. Nice.
And that is one of the gaps we are coming in to close.
Okay, so Mazi okiwulidde Matthew simanyi tannakyogerako abantu bataano bakamugamba Matthew for President UFMI. Simanyi lwaki tannakyogerako, but we are yet. Tiawa Charles says there is no problem with regional industry clusters forming associations. It's just an advantage to the mainstream specialized guilds to mobilize from the organized communities. Yeah, we understood it better. Thank you so much, Tiawa Charles. Matthew, okyogerako kya UFMI president. I think UFMI has chairman, board, and CEO. Yeah, not president.
Yeah, but like I said, I'm just joining, so I need to first understand what's happening.
That's
there.
right, how it runs.
It would be too early for me to say yes. Let me first get there and understand what's going on. What are the challenges there? Let me be, first of all, part of the solution.
The solution,
yes. Yeah, if there are challenges, let me be part of it. Let me understand them. Then let's see what happens.
Tannatuula na mu ntebe mwaga mukubya masasi. Yeah, what you say about it? Should you go for that CEO seat?
No, but he's right, because he's saying I cannot just join something I'm not conversant with.
Yes.
So he needs time, and he already has a heavy load on him right now, because the beginning of the guild needs to be structured and monitored for some time, because we need one vehicle at a time. So imagine we are splitting his efforts, his energies between the guild and then UF. I think it would be quite a lot for him.
Yes.
Maybe, like he says, he's going to be a member of UFMI. He will monitor things as they go on. Probably when he doesn't become like other leaders, he can say, after my tenure with the guild, let me join UFMI.
Okay, we have only 12 minutes remaining, and I want to thank Muzaiwan Kasei's interesting ideas. Thanks, Tim. Neon says this guild is a big link we missed in our industry. Guys, you don't know how excited inside I am to see that this guild is achieved. You don't know, because it's been a mess. It's been a mess in our industry because producers never owned the industry. I'll tell you, when Queen of Katwe was here, they were double taxed. They also wondered, fake later. It happened to Queen of Katwe in Owino Market. They had paid everything, and then they reached Owino Market. The security in Owino Market told them, you guys, you get? KCC just received whatever they received, they never gave them an agent to go with them. So there was a lot happening. So Matthew and Diaro, I want to use this platform to also tell Ugandans that the Oscars committee that was acquired in 2019 has served for 6 years, and this year we are having a reshuffle for the new members, at the Oscars committee. And we would love to also call upon the guild to nominate people. One of the guides that are given to us from the executive committee in Hollywood is that we must have an art journalist on the committee. We must have a well-established producer. We must have a well-established writer. And then we also have to have a well-established or someone that is into distribution and exhibition. It's a team of, they allow you to have not less than 7 members. So would love, this year we have a reshuffle. We want to call upon our guilds to participate in nominating names. Then the names will be vetted, and then we'll see what we have to do. Remember, when you submit your names, then we also submit them to the executive committee, our handler in the Hollywood, who actually vets. They have representatives within the East African region that actually look out for those names. There's also a challenge on the film presence, film practitioners, on the social media presence. How are we going to do or handle that? Because yesterday in Film Club, it was a hot debate where a journalist called me immediately after the Icon Awards the next day and said, Godfrey, give me 5 actors in Uganda that can be compared to the people that were brought to the Icon. That is the Ramsey Nouah, Kanayu, and then I told them, guys, comparison in what? Talent, fame, or what? I told them, as far as talent is concerned, ku Africa wanateri atukuba bana Uganda. But when abantu batusinga resources ezibafuula aba stars.
Yeah.
Their resources are way high. Someone is celebrated at home, celebrated outside their home. They are marketed. They have a brand team that identifies them and then positions them somewhere. So I was also asked by a lady in Netherlands. Actually, I told you about that lady. The Smetenius Awards, Netherlands.
Yes.
She asked me for celebrities that are appreciated in Uganda. I submitted your names, and then she said, but we have someone that competes with the Ramsey Nouah in social media. We have actors that are celebrated, but their social media platforms are very down. Talk about my friend Prince Okuyo. Their social medias are down. How are we going to help our... Because we are in an era of now the digital campaign, how are we going to help our producers, actors to have
think
this?
First and foremost, one, I think the stars themselves need to work on themselves. They need to know that this is their business.
Yes.
They need to brand, right? Because many times you're going to ask an actor, send me your headshot. And they're going to give you a TikTok something, a selfie, very weird things. So I think there is actually a need for more sensitization for our people. When I was during Sanyu, when we were starting up, actually I think I reviewed this after season 1.
Yes.
And I said, I looked at the social media of most of my actors, and they do not post, they do not what, and I was like, look here guys, wake up. This is your brand. You're selling your brand. Sell your brand. Because if your brand doesn't look like a big brand, nobody is going to hire you after this show. And I can tell you that I saw people who listened change. People who at the time, end of season 1, had 2,000 followers, 800 followers. Now they have 40,000. It has grown because they got that sensitization.
Yes.
Yeah. And then also, so actors need to work on that. Or people in the film industry need to work on that and take that seriously, because Nigerians take it seriously. Of course, Nigerians will also beat us in terms of following because of their numbers.
Their numbers, yes.
Yeah, I mean, they have great numbers.
Plus,
so
I think.
it is there. Then number 3 is the media. Our media, people on radio, people on TV, people, bloggers, love to celebrate and praise people outside Uganda.
Yeah.
You see, you listen to a radio station and they're saying, today is the 2nd of April, so if it's your birthday today, you're sharing your birthday with Jay-Z.
Yes.
I'm thinking, Jay-Z is not even listening to your radio station. He doesn't even care if you exist. Yeah. You see, we are building other people, celebrities
that
of other
culture
countries.
needs to
We
die.
are not building our own. Nigerians build their own.
Wow.
We as Ugandans need to
a
learn
good
to
one.
build our own. Let's be on radio stations. Let somebody on radio station or TV say, today you celebrate a birthday with Godfrey Musinguzi. Now the other person who doesn't know Godfrey Musinguzi will be forced to go and look, who is this Godfrey? Oh, he's this and that. They start following. That is how you grow. your own celebrities. Being at the Icon Awards and people came dressed up, all looking glamorous and what, that is one of the ways we build these stars.
Yes.
But now you see, you'll find that our own are either trying to say, but akatete yako kabuzemo kano, kali sichitegeera. That is doing ourselves
laying our own down. Yes.
Yeah, we are doing ourselves a disservice. We need to lift ourselves. People need to work on themselves, but also everybody else needs to build us, and that is how we can be able to compete with Ramsey Noah. If it's in terms of following, because talent, we do have it.
Yes.
Now it is the other thing. Also, when we grow our own, even financially, it grows, because that's how endorsements start coming in. Because they're like, oh, this guy is a big deal. Endorsements come now. So even the financial aspect grows. But let's stop tearing our own down.
Thank you,
Let
Matthew.
us grow
Thank
our
you,
own.
Matthew. Yes. Celebrate Ugandan filmmakers, celebrate Ugandan films. Diallo, what do you have to say about that?
Actually, I'll start with the last statement Matthew made. Talent will get you known, but the brand will get you money.
Yes.
Now, talent alone cannot make you succeed. I tell you, there are so many talented Ugandans that have been there the past 30 years, but because they did not create that brand, they are known, but they are struggling. And today you find people that you might criticize for not being talented, but have branded themselves that are actually living well. The world has changed that now. It is your image. Usually people ask, are you bankable or not? They're just asking your brand. Are you bankable? You're not asking your talent. Are you bankable? These days he's a producer. He will tell you, these days actually when we are casting, one of the things that come top on the list is your numbers. Because now I'm looking at the money at the end of the chain, because I know when I bring Musingus with their 1 million followers, I can tap $500,000 from them in terms of returns. So it is crazy these days that they will cast anybody sometimes, because these days when you're pitching to international platforms, they even ask you the question, who are you casting? They are not even looking at their talent, but while they're asking who are you, they're asking which brand are you bringing on board. And sometimes when you cast someone because of their brand, before the movie is out or post-production, you might get people who call you because they want the movie, because of the character that is in your movie. That is how important branding yourself means. But going back to our Ugandan actors, like he said, we don't even know that aside from talent, you need to create that brand.
The brand.
But then there is something we have done wrong. As most of our celebrities. What happens when you tell them that go on social media and post? The question is, now what do you post? Because now you will see some of them saying, I've been told to post, they are maybe in a sewage pipe, maybe they are anywhere. There's all controversial content.
Yeah.
Because when someone comes to Musinguzi's page, they want to understand from what they see who this person is.
Yeah.
Because what you show the world is what they perceive of you. So as a brand, when you're trying to create a brand, also understand what am I creating? What kind of brand am I putting out there? So you need also to be very strategic. Okay, in more developed economies, people are hiring also brand managers.
Yes.
You talk to someone and say, I am an actor, but I need you to guide me on how I need to put out myself.
Nice.
So we also need to ask, can we find someone who can guide me on how I can? Like you're going to take, some even go to the studios to take portraits, but you find them, they're taking a picture, posing in a funny way, but this is not what we want to see. So we all need to understand that if you want to get money or if you want to become a bankable character, you need to brand yourself right.
Thank you so much. It's Film Agenda 256 right here at the National Theatre. We celebrate the support by UNCC, then Connect for Culture Africa. We thank you for the support. And we want to call upon every stakeholder that thinks this show should go on. Come on board, be a sponsor, share the news around the film sector that so that we make this show a very vibrant show. Share with us your trailers, your upcoming programs like premieres. We have Lama premiering at Arena Mall on the 18th of April this month. We have 30K, 50,000, and guys, be there. Lama is produced by one of our film club members. That is Diallo, Diego, and not this one. There's Diego, and then we have Swipe Nachiringe. who's also from Nansana City, is part of the project. And one of the things I want to read out here is Samuel Sevier saying, you are right, Diallo. The National Producers Guild of Uganda has to first operate for the first 2 to 5 years to be stable enough and self-sustainable to serve the industry for the next decade also. Nsimbi says the guild is the only hope for producers. Tweyanziza nnyo Mr. Nabwiso. Mtaka Ali says, Matthew, thank you for your effort to move the industry forward. Ramon says, okay, now sitegedenyo point here. Ramon, you are older than the current chairperson in the sector UFMI. I don't know what he's saying. Ndugu Nabwana, CEO will remove you from the members list. Ramon, thank you so much for engaging. Semanda Deo says, true that in our industry, if you don't know some of the stars physically, you may fail to find them on social networks. And we ourselves love to put our fellows down. I keep telling filmmakers, when we are running Uganda Cinema Night, abantu bagezaako nnyo okulumbagana waka w'abantu. Bagamba, guys, we need to first appreciate the effort. Even when you're setting up a birthday date, there's a lot of effort you put in. A birthday celebration, there's a lot of effort. Naye ate omuntu akedde ku makya n'akola film ya 90 minutes. Naye alina ky'ataddemu. So it's high time now we begin to celebrate the local stars. We will come up with a strategy, of course. So we appreciate you. And then, Matthew, I want you to give your last remark in 2 minutes. To the stakeholders, those that have been engaging, thank you. We are saying Film Agenda 256 happens every Wednesday. We need you to come and support. Sponsors come on board, brands and individuals. Thank you. Yes. What is your last remark on filmmakers?
My last remark is I know we've come a long way as filmmakers, as we've had our challenges, we've had our struggles, but we can't give up. Yeah? We can't give up. You see, they say life stops when you lose hope.
Yeah.
So let's keep the hope up. Let's join hands. Let's fight. Let's advocate, and things are possible. Let's give this a chance. Let's give this an opportunity to change things around. So let's join hands. Let's work together. And I believe we are not here to fail, and we shall not fail.
Thank you. A quick one, a yes or no. Are you working with the Uganda Parliamentary Forum for the Creative Industries?
Yes, we have already had engagements with the Uganda Parliamentary Forum for Creatives. We are working together.
Okay.
Yes.
That's good. Yes, Diaro, your last remarks in 2.
I just want to thank everyone who tuned in. I'm extremely humbled and delighted by the remarks. Very good that I saw so many prominent people that have joined the conversation and made it very, very exciting. For the industry, I've been in a different industry before, and trust me, there is no better place to be than film. Because being a filmmaker, you don't have a time to work, you don't have a dress code, you are your own boss. They just say that when you're working for passion, you'll never work a single day in your life. For us filmmakers, we are on set, we're just enjoying ourselves. You know how it can be. So I just encourage those who have maybe seemingly lost hope to just hold on. Probably this is the time that things are going to get better. So I thank you all for watching us, and I call upon everyone to support anyone in the film industry. But one last thing I want to highlight is about film criticism. People find it mostly as a culture in Uganda. Okay, challenge we don't have the right critics, but also we don't know how to take on criticism. But one thing I'd also want to highlight to Matthew is under the guild, if we could have maybe a film criticism commission within the guild. For example, for all the producers in the guild, like if you are part, you don't need to drag everyone, but all the members, if you have a movie, before it goes out there to go under this commission for better representation of this industry, it will also help us probably have a quality that we put out there as an industry, because we've seen, it's not in a bad faith, but we've seen so many people bringing out everything out there. So it would be very good if we have a sieve as a guild, so that we can also help our filmmakers improve. That's my last take. Thank you for hosting us, Mr.
Thank you so much for supporting the Film Agenda 256. Shout out to Connect for Culture Africa. Sorry about that. Connect for Culture. And then I want to also appreciate Uganda National Culture Center, everyone, the gentlemen that are behind the cameras and the technical team that are making this show amazing, viewable and very clear in sound. Thank you so much. Sisola kulekayo kwebaza Geoffrey Bazi and my stubborn fellow Isma atera okuntawanya. Dero nkwebaziza nnyo totawanyizaako. Soko imiremu sound yakoze bichi. Thank you so much. As a team, we celebrate this show. We want everyone to come on board, support. Let's share and make this show a very, very vibrant show to promote the Uganda film industry. I love you so much. My name is Godfrey Musinguzi. Next Wednesday, 8 p.m. live on Living at Uganda channel, YouTube channel. We